What's going on, guys? Back real quick. Other good fights on Saturday. Um, the monster Japanese sensation Naye Inoue versus Emmanuel Rodriguez, who I think's from Puerto Rico. Battle of the undefeateds. The small, tiny weight division. I think it's 118 bantamweight. Um, I think Inoue is on a couple of pound for pound lists, stuff like that. I like him a lot. Dude's a beast. Um, or the monster. I think that's his alias. Really fundamentally sound. Excellent jab. 1-2s on point. Body shots. Good hook to the body. Good uppercut. I think he's like 5'5", 5'6", so decent height for that division. I think Rodriguez might be either a hair taller or about the same height. Like I said, it's the real small division, so these divisions typically don't get too much shine. But Inouye's really nice, bro. He could really box. He got power. Um, decent speed, really good footwork, really good jab. Just a real crispy all around fighter. At least from what I've seen so far. I think he's won in this is his third weight division where he's got a belt. Um, because he won at flyweight, super flyweight, and now he's at bantamweight. I know for a little bit they wanted to push Inoue versus Chocolatito a couple of years ago before Chocolatito got beat by Rungvisai, but um, this is a unification. I think Inoue's the WBA champ and Rodriguez is the IBF champ, so it's a unification. So um, if Inoue wins, he'll fight Nonito Donaire, who won in his last fight, against a late replacement. So that'd be good, man. They're kind of a passing of the torch for like the top guys in those little divisions, because that's where Donaire was kind of made his fame. He was probably the first one to give that division some real shine. Beating Jorge Arce and Victor Darchinyan and Sampaio Villeka and um, who else? But Donaire was, what was he? Late 2000s, early 2010s when he was on that pound for pound list before he lost to Rigondeaux. So it'd be kind of the passing of the torch between like big stars of that weight class. So that'd be kind of nice if that becomes the the title fight. For the World Boxing Super Series. So that'd be nice. Be Japan versus the Philippines. So um, that'd be kind of cool. Kind of a passing of the torch. Should that happen? Rodriguez has a chance. He's got decent punching power. I think he's got 11, 12 knockouts. So he has decent power. You know, um, he's a solid fighter, but I just think Inoue is just too good. If it's a competitive fight, I'll be shocked because Inoue, for the most part, has just dominated everyone he's fought. Most of his fights have not been competitive. So, and I don't think he will until he moves up to super bantamweight or featherweight. So I think he'll probably beat Rodriguez in 5, 6 rounds. Um, it'll be a technical breakdown, beatdown. But if Rodriguez can go the distance, that'd be cool too. But Inoue's a beast, man. Like I said, speed, power, box, flexibility, sound, goes to the body. Probably could work on his head movement and his defense. Haven't really seen him fight on the back foot too much, so I'm not sure how good he is on that front. So maybe Rodriguez can have a chance if he can push a new way back. But if he's not able to, it's going to be the monster show. So, but it's on the Josh Taylor versus Baranchet card. I think the Taylor fight's the main event, but I'm not 100% sure. But either way, it's a good fight. I think that's also in the zone. So World Boxing Super Series. I wish we had more little tournaments like this throughout boxing. It kind of cuts um, the the BS between promoters and networks and all that extra nonsense that fans don't really need to worry about or should have to worry about. The best should just fight the best. I'm not saying you have to have a gaudy schedule. That's not realistic either. But in the same vein, we shouldn't have to beg for these super fights to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like we should have had Earl Spence versus Porter arguably last year, or Earl Spence versus Keith Thurman last year. We should be getting Crawford versus Earl this year. You know what I mean? We should have had Mikey versus Loma this year. You know, could have had Wilder versus AJ. You know what I'm saying? So that's the politics of boxing. You know, it is what it is. But hopefully we'll get better. And I think 2019 has kind of been an upset year. You know, we've had Caleb Plant beat Uzgadagi. Pretty similar fight to J Rock versus Hurd. That was an upset. You know, last year one Charlo got upset by Tony Harrison. The other Charlo almost got upsetted by Matt Korobov. Um, who else? Uh, can't think of any other big upsets. Mikey got schooled. Granados got stopped for the first time. Porter almost got upset versus Ugas. That was a close one. Um, I think Wilder versus Brazil. That's going to be a good fight. I think I said it was like Foreman versus Ernie Shavers, but it might be more like Foreman versus Ron Lyle. But either way, that'll be a fun fight. Um, what else? What other big fights we had this year? Canelo versus Jacobs. That was competitive. I personally didn't have a problem with the fight. I thought it was cool, but some people thought it was underwhelming a little bit. But boxing's definitely had some upsets this year. Um, sounds like Lomachenko's going to fight Luke Campbell. I think I've talked about that in the past. It's a cool fight. I don't think it's a blockbuster, but we'll see what happens. But boxing's in a decent spot. But let me know what you guys think about Inoue if you know much about him. If you haven't, a lot of his fights are on YouTube, so just if you get a chance, watch them. They're not long. Most of them are knockouts. So, um, but he can really fight though, man. I know he's on some pound for pound list, which might be a hair premature, just because he hasn't beaten a big name yet. And I know that's not his fault, just because of the divisions he's in. But if he can beat Donaire or beat Rodriguez first, obviously take care of that business, and if he can beat Donaire in the tournament, move up to 122, then I think we could start talking about him on pound for pound list. It's just a tad early just because he hasn't had a big, solid name yet. Like I said, not his fault, but, um, another reason why I don't like pound for pound lists because they're super subjective. But nonetheless, let me know what you guys think about Inoue. How do you think Rodriguez does he have a chance? Do you think he can at least make it competitive for the first time for a Inoue who's been steamrolling his competition? Let me know what you think about the World Boxing Super Series in general. Do you think we should have more tournaments for the other weight classes with a little bit more spotlight? But yeah, drop comments, like, subscribe, make predictions. Other than that, stay tuned. Take it easy.